Morning, very good morning to all of you, my dear friends, listeners, video viewers. I have again brought a beautiful nugget from the Holy Bhagavad Gita. This is chapter 2, verse 13. In this verse, we will learn the actual steps of life. The Yovanam, Komaram, Yovanam, and Jara. These are three steps of life. This quote had been given by Shri Krishna. It inspires Arjuna to defeat the armies and defeat the enemies residing in his mind. So, after reading this whole verse, we will also defeat the armies living in our body, in our mind. So, come, let us get started from here. Here we go. Dehino ismin यथा देहे कोमरं यौवनं जरः तथा देहन्त प्रप्तिधीरस्तत्र नामोह्यति. Dehina means of the embodied. Asmi means in this. Yatha means as. Dehe means in the body. Komaram means childhood. Yauvanam means youth. Jaraha means old age. Tatha means similarly. Deha antaraha means another body. Praptihi means hota achieves. और धीरह मीन्स द वाइज, धीर व्यक्ति जो धीर हैं, वाइज हैं. तत्र मीन्स होता देयर अपॉन. ना मोह्यति मीन्स आर नॉट deluded. So this is the translation of this verse. Just as the embodied soul continuously passes from childhood to youth to old age, similarly at the time of death the soul passes into another body. The wise are not deluded by this. With immaculate logic, Sri Krishna establishes the principle of transmigration of the soul from lifetime to lifetime. He explains that in one lifetime itself, we change bodies from childhood to youth, to maturity, and then to old age. In fact, modern science informs us that cells within the body undergoes regeneration. Old cells dies away and new ones take their place. It is estimated that within 7 years, practically all the cells of the body change. Further, the molecules within the cells change even more rapidly. With every breath we inhale, oxygen molecules are absorbed into our cells via the metabolic processes. The molecules that are heretofore locked within the cells are released as carbon dioxide. Scientists estimate that in 1 year's time, about 98% of our bodily molecules change, and yet, despite the continual change of the body, we perceive that we are the same person. That is because we are not the material body, but the spiritual soul seated within. In this verse, the word deha means the body, and dehi means possessor of the body or the soul. Sri Krishna draws Arjuna's attention to the fact that since the body is constantly changing, in one lifetime itself, the soul passes through many bodies. Similarly, at the time of death, it passes into another body. Actually, what we term as death, the worldly parlance, is merely the soul discarding its old dysfunctional body, and what we call worth is the soul taking a new body elsewhere. This is the principle of reincarnation. Most Oriental philosophies accept this concept of reincarnation. It is an integral part of Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism. In Buddhism, the Buddha made references to his past lives repeatedly. Many people do not know the extent of which reincarnation was a part of the belief system of the Occidental philosophies as well. In ancient classical Western religion and philosophic circles, famous thinkers such as Pythagoras, Plato, and Socrates accepted reincarnation to be true, and their views were also reflected in Orph- Orphi- Orphism, Hermeticism, Neoplatonism, and Manichaeism and Gnosticism. Within the mainstream Abrahamic faiths, mystics of the three major religions also supported reincarnation. Examples include Jews who died in Kabbalah, and Christians, Cathars, and Muslim Shia sects such as the Alawi, Shias, and the Druze. For example, amongst Occidental religions, Josephs and the great ancient Jews historians used language in the writings that seem to ascribe belief in some form of reincarnation among the Pharisees and Essenes of this day. Certainly, the Jews' Kabbalah prescribes to the idea of reincarnation as Gilgul Neshemat, or the rolling of the soul. The great Sufi mystic Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi declared, I died out of the stone and I believe I became a plant. I died of the plant and became an animal. I died out of animal and became a man. Why then should I fear to die? Why die? Why did I grow less by dying? I shall die out of man and shall become an angel. Many of the early Christians believed in the concept of reincarnation. Christian history informs us that in the 553 AD, the Council of Nicaea, a conclave, was held to discuss the principle of reincarnation, and it was thereafter declared a heresy, apparently to increase the authority of the church over the lives of the people. Until then, it was commonly accepted. Jesus indirectly proclaimed this doctrine when he told his disciples that John and Baptist was Elijah, the prophet incarnated. This is also mentioned in the Old Testament. Origen, the most learned of the Christian fathers, declared, every man receives a body for himself according to his deserts in former lives. Solomon's Books of Wisdom says, to be born in sound body with sound limbs is a reward of the virtues of the past lives. Belief in incarnation is also found in the many tribal societies around the world, in places such as Serbia, West Africa, North America, and Australia. Moving to more recent centuries and civilizations, reincarnation has been affirmed by Rosicrucians, Spiritism, Theosophists, and New Age followers. Even more recently, it has even been studied in serious scientific circles as major universities exemplified by the work of Dr. Lon Stevenson and Dr. Jim Tucker, both at the University of Virginia. Without accepting the concept of rebirth, it is difficult to make sense out of the suffering, chaos, and incompleteness of the world. And hence, many famous Western thinkers believe in the principle. Virgil or Ovid regarded this doctrine as self evident. The German philosophers Goethe, Fichte, Schelling, and Lessing accepted it. Among us, the more recent philosophers Hughes, Spencer, and Max Muller, and all recognized it as the incontrovertible doctrine. Among Western poets, Browning, Rossetti, Tennyson, and Wordsworth, to mention just a few, all believed in it. Sri Krishna has previously declared that the wise do not lament, but the fact remains. Without accepting the concept of rebirth, it is difficult to make sense out of the suffering, chaos, and incompleteness of the world, and hence many famous Western thinkers believed in this principle. Virgil and Ovid regarded this doctrine as the self-evident. The German philosopher Goethe, Fichte, Schelling, and Lessing accepted it. Among the more recent philosophers, Hughes, Spencer, and Max Muller all recognized it as the incontrovertible doctrine. Among Western poets, Browning, Rossetti, Tennyson, and Wordsworth, to mention just a few, all believed in it. Sri Krishna has previously declared that the wise do not lament, but the fact remains that we do experience happiness and distress. What is the reason for it? How now explains this concept? So this was all about this Holy Bhagavad Gita verse mean. I hope you have understood it and what is the cycle of our life. So this elaborates the cycle of our lives. Yovana, Komara, Yovana, and Jara. Our soul take birth, changes the bodies. Our soul is cannot be died or cannot be destroyed. So our body is temporary, but our soul is permanent. So this was all about this Holy Bhagavad Gita verse mean. I hope you had understood. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time.